Good afternoon. Greetings from Chicagoland. This is Munira, CEO and founder of Kismet Ventures Inc. And I am a John Maxwell certified coach, and I have a segment on YouTube called Munira's Musings. I am on a mission these days to find people who are instilling values in other people's lives and are not taking the credit of doing so because they think it's just, it's just a task that they have to do. Well, I'm on a mission to find them, to expose them, and to promote them. And I'm enjoying meeting different kinds of people, different people from different areas of the world, people from everywhere that are just doing wonderful, exceptional things. Today, my guest is Krista Giannak.
Oh, that's right.
Hi,
Thanks,
Krista.
Munira. Hi, thanks for having me on.
Thank you so much for coming. I appreciate your time and the fact that you're here. I'm very, very honored to have you as my guest.
Thank you.
So, Krista, tell us a little bit about yourself.
So, I'm a copywriter and public relations professional by trade. And my goal with my clients is to help them face the overwhelming challenge of getting noticed. So I've faced a lot of fears in my life. And I was recently featured in an anthology called Journey to the Stage, Volume 5. And I wrote I'm the cover story about my journey from scared kid to networker, business owner, and skier who happens to be blind.
Oh, wow. So, wow. That's awesome. So tell us about the book and tell us about your skiing. I mean, how are you overcoming these fears, especially with a disability?
So the way that I've overcome all of the different fears in my life, including skiing, is to find people who can help me, who can guide me through the process, people who already know the way. So in the same way that people have helped me, I look to help my clients to guide them when I know the way. So with the skiing, there are volunteers who, and ski guides and instructors who are trained. And all of these wonderful volunteers, what they do is they take positions around the blind skier. Each skier goes with 2 to 3 ski guides and or instructors, and they call out directions, or they use a pole where everyone holds on to the same pole so that way everyone stays together. So there's a couple of different ways that blind people can ski safely.
Oh, okay. I'm scared of skiing.
Yeah, a lot of people are.
The last year I went to Utah and I went on a ski lift. And I'll tell you, my husband was on one side and a friend was on the other. And we did not know that there was a bar that went down. So climbed on the ski.
Oh no.
And we went, and we were talking about the fact that, this was pretty dangerous, that there was nothing to hold on to, especially for the two people that were sitting in the middle. And then when we came up to disembarking, we realized that the people in front of us had a bar that went up. And I looked up and I said, oh my God, we had a bar, but we didn't even put it down. So we are now known as the fearless, ski riders.
Oh, wow.
So that's my funny story.
Yeah, wow. It's so different when you take lessons with trained instructors and trained skiers who've already experienced. I had a much different experience. They explained everything as we went. They told me exactly what to expect. They showed me how to traverse the slope.
Yes.
And they're a great program. It's Vermont Adaptive Ski and Sports.
Okay.
And it's with the United States Association of Blind Athletes. They have a blind ski weekend every year, every February. And I've been going since 2012. And I go every year.
So you just go for that particular weekend, or do you avidly ski around the ski season?
I go for that particular weekend because I'm from Long Island and we don't really have good skiing here.
Okay.
So, and skiing, so I look forward to that weekend. It's
How many people come?
well, there are usually about 30 participants,
Okay.
along with all of the volunteers and ski guides. And like I said, each blind person or visually impaired person needs 2 to 3 guides with them in order to stay safe on the slopes.
So why did you pick skiing?
Because I've always wanted to feel the sensation of being free. I love the idea of controlling my movement in a way that you don't normally do. Of learning, I love the challenge of it. I've done both downhill and cross country, and I enjoy both. And cross country is easier in some ways. You don't need as much guidance as you do with downhill because you follow the tracks that are set a lot of times. So that's great too. So I love both, and I love the idea of triumph over fear, of facing fears, and also so the idea is, what they're saying is that as much as people are afraid of skiing, there are ways to do it safely. So rather than sticking with my fear, I'm going to say, well, all of these folks are doing it safely, and I trust them because they're showing me their methods. So I'm going to go for it.
So how do you then translate this fear into other people's life? You said you're a coach, right?
Well, no, I'm a copywriter and a public relations professional. As part of that, though, I do have to do a certain amount of, a little bit of, I don't know if coaching is quite the right word, but certainly consulting. I interview people the same way a journalist would and uncover the deeper questions, and we look at what the process is going to be. So ideally, we have a team. So I'm a copywriter. So ideally, there's a web designer, perhaps a graphics person, a social media person, and folks from their company, and we're working together to create a website that drives traffic and gets people to pick up the phone.
Okay, so what is the subject matter of your business?
The subject matter varies. My clients, I really enjoy the IT space because I enjoy the thoughtfulness, the planning, the sharing, the expertise. A lot of times IT folks they have so much knowledge to share, and they may be able to talk on and on about their field. At the same time, they may not know how to speak directly to their customers and what their customers are thinking or feeling. So I enjoy helping them through that process, guiding them through a process that they may be concerned about. They may be even a little afraid of getting themselves out there. So it's IT, healthcare, marketing is another one. I really enjoy. I've done work with videos, patient testimonial videos,
Yes.
and other types of content from doctors. So my content helps patients to make better medical decisions or to feel a bit more at ease about their conditions, or to understand the risks or benefits. So it's IT, healthcare, and I have a variety of other types of clients. I've worked with companies like frozen yogurt company. I've worked with law firms. I've done a little bit of work for other types of professionals, lawn care company. So they really vary.
Okay, so that's an awesome, so basically you just help people take the next step in their business or in their profession.
Yeah, the next step in their messaging. So the step beyond me to customer-centric language.
That's awesome. I think I need some of your help.
Oh.
We'll be in touch. So you ask questions about each person's businesses, and then you write down how to message their message, right? How to package their message so that it then is attained and accepted by the audience that they are targeting.
Absolutely. I ask the deeper questions, I do the research, and I come up with messaging as close as possible to their voice and help them to share their brand voice or potentially to discover what it is.
So you are part of a book, and you said Journey to the Stage. So are you a public speaker as well?
I am a public speaker. I've done presentations on facilitating group discussions on overcoming fears. I've also done presentations. I do a webinar, Get Noticed Now, Increase Visibility Online and in the Media. And you can look at my Facebook page, Wise Words That Matter, for the next iteration of the webinar. So definitely check out Wise Words That Matter on Facebook. And wisewords.matter.com is also my website.
So, everybody is fearful of something or the other. And it's easy to tell people to overcome their fear. How do you, in one talk, expect people to overcome their fear?
Well, it's not about that because I'm not a psychologist. I'm not an expert. It's more about people having a forum to share their experiences and share what's worked for them. So that's why it's more of a facilitated discussion as opposed to a presentation. I can share what's worked for me. So the idea that I've exposed myself to my fears and found people who could guide me through and explored breathing exercises and such, but I can only share what works for me. And then it's open to other people to share what works for them, or to share maybe if they're trying to help their clients or their loved ones or someone overcome a fear, people can talk about how they might go about doing that, how they might go about offering support to someone who wants to do that.
So FEAR's acronym is false appearances, false expectations appearing real, right? That's what they say. So some people will say, you're just afraid of being afraid.
Yeah, I think that's really quite true. I think there are rational fears, and then there are also irrational fears, and then there are combinations. So it's really easy to take something you're afraid of and blow it out of proportion. And it's also easy to go the other way. Oh, nothing can happen to me. I'm invincible. I can do whatever I want, So it's kind of, to me, it's all about that balance and looking at things realistically and finding people who can help do that.
Well, I commend you. I commend you for doing this because you help. I think when people watch this, they're going to find that they should come to you and listen to what you have to say, because many people I know have fears. I mean, I had my own fears about going on video and talking, doing a Facebook Live. And then, it slowly dissipated, but it took me a long time to figure it out.
Oh, me too. I have so many technical difficulties and I was afraid of appearing on camera because I am blind and I worry about the camera not being perfect. And guess what? It hasn't always been perfect. But the bottom line is I've gotten more views than I ever thought possible. My first Facebook Live got over 600 views. I did a motivational talk live that got over 1,000 views. And I've only just started these Facebook Lives in April 2018, and it's now June as of this recording. So my Wise Words That Matter Facebook page, I have some videos posted there and also on my profile that I share on the page.
Okay. So, and I appreciate you coming on today and sharing this with us, because, I think many people need to listen to this, especially as women who are in fear of not being able to do the next thing that they want to do, or, they just think that they're not good enough, right? We always have that little voice telling us that you can't do it.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like it's a balance between passing up opportunities because we're not quite ready for them And sometimes you have to just go for it, like I did with the Facebook Live, because I saw other people getting these wonderful view counts. And I'm like, what am I doing? I could really use this traffic. I'm missing out on a wonderful thing. And I now have this story that I actually put together. What allowed me to tell this personal story was a public speaking boot camp with the Women's Prosperity Network, where we sat down and we wrote down turning points in our lives. And that was a life-changing exercise for me, because that, along with going up to the front of the room and talking to this small group of people and getting feedback, and then talking to mentors afterward. So it was a process informing this story and connecting my life turning points into this theme of overcoming challenges, facing fears, and helping my writing and PR clients do the same.
Now, one more question with your business. Are you an independent copywriter, or do you work for somebody?
I'm independent. My business is Wise Words That Matter, and I'm happy to work with web designers, graphic designers, other creative folks, social media specialists. In fact, I think things function better when I am part of a team.
That's good. Because, and as a coach and a mentor, a challenger, influencer, I always find that collaboration is better, but there are many people out there who don't believe in it and want to keep the cake and eat it too, right?
Yeah, and that can be a challenge.
So I am a very big proponent of, let's just share the cake. It's enough, enough to go around. And,
absolutely.
And so I appreciate you coming on my on my webinar today, and and having me interview you, because I really appreciate the fact that you are who you are, and you are a gem, and you have so much value to share with people.
Oh, thank you so much.
And I appreciate your time, and thank you. So for those people who are watching, I'm going to upload this video on Munira Zahabi's YouTube channel. If you want to go like and subscribe there, we will share a link on our Facebook too. And thank you so much for your time, Krista.
Thank you, Munira.
Thank you.